defence. Arsenal are their clear favourites. But they're without the services of Alan Smith for the next 3 to 4 weeks. A fractured bone in his ankle has broken up his flourishing partnership with White, Campbell and Merson. But it's the chance that Anders Limpar has been straining at the Leeds for. He's one of 8 in that team, just back from international duty. Limpar played for Sweden in Israel and scored what he said was the best goal of his life in that game. Opportunity knocks today for David Rocastle too, his first Premier League start for Leeds against his old club. He's one of 4 ex-Arsenal men in the Leeds team. Tony Dorigo returns to the defence. It's the worst in the Premier League according to the goals against column, but David Batty and Eric Cantona are both missing from the team through injury. Robbie Hart is the man in charge. The vital statistics at kick-off time: Arsenal no defeat in their last 10 games, Leeds no win in their last 7. Not sure that a boxing promoter would be allowed to put these two in the same ring at the moment, based on their records. But champions don't become fall guys in the space of 6 months, and certainly Leeds believe they can earn another crack at the title. Here's Lee Chapman. Tony Dorigo back in the number 3 shirt. Gordon Strachan starting wide on the left-hand side, and David Seaman starting very competently indeed. Gordon Strachan will try to pull the strings for Leeds from wide out on the left with Rocastle on the right. Strachan with the free kick. Speed arriving! Always just drifting over Seaman and over the fine Wallace, who almost found speed. He was just running down a different channel to the one that Wallace passed it down. And they're linking up again to effect, and this time Steve Bold has to step in. Strachan in towards Wallace, well dealt with by Adams. Strachan taking on Dixon, just wrong-footing him. Doing a little bit more than that. It was a useful cross, and for Strachan still. It's a goal kick. Ian Wright still making his point to the referee. He got goal side of Chris Fairclough then, and there was just a feeling that Fairclough's hands were raised for a moment and were on Wright's body. Difficult to call. A bit of concern at the moment about David Seaman, who's the worse for wear. They know all about the for Strachan. Well read by Jensen. Speed. Rocastle with a little bit of a space, and now Rod Wallace with an invitation. Seaman kept it out and Bold got it away, and it just opened up there, first for Rocastle and then for Wallace. And oh, he was looking for Chapman, he almost found a goal, and David Seaman recovered brilliantly. Well, a right spar from Gary McAllister. I may just be doing him an injustice, but I think Lee Chapman was the target there. He almost found the angle between post and bar. He got a bit of the crossbar and a bit of Seaman too. If he meant it, it was breathtaking. Strachan in towards speed, headed away by Adams typically. Good pass from McAllister and from Strachan. This is Rocastle, a little back heel which Strachan didn't read. Wright leading the charge out. You see to be pushed off the ball by Tony Dorigo. Well, he doesn't often score from 23 yards, Lee Chapman. Clipped in towards Wallace. Oh! Well, he not only missed a great chance, but he denied Lee Chapman one behind him. If he'd been a defender, that was about as good as he could have done. He really should have stuck that away. It's been a difficult season for Rod Wallace. He lost 6 weeks to injury and hasn't quite got his sharpness back. Oh, clipped in towards Rocastle on a run. Just couldn't quite hold off John Jensen. It's a corner. No, it's not. In towards Chapman. It's run through for Gary Speed, but it got caught up in the heavy goalmouth, and Seaman just had a flop on it really. And that had skidded off the pitch instead. It might have been awkward, but it had almost stopped by the time it reached Seaman. Got support here from McAllister. Dorigo to his left. Played inside Campbell for Dorigo. Wallace was there, but so too was Tony Adams. And they're signalling that it's the end of the road for David Seaman this afternoon. Arsenal are ready to substitute their goalkeeper. They're not going to be allowed to do so before the corner though, I don't think. Flick on by White, and then by Fairclough, and Leeds have scored! Chris Fairclough's goal, but David Seaman's dejection. He was ready to come off before the corner, and he could make no sort of challenge as the ball skidded across the edge of his six-yard box, and the two Leeds central defenders added to themselves. Fairclough's goal. And will Arsenal regret the decision not to substitute Seaman a minute earlier? Alan Miller's coming on now. Seaman's obviously got a problem with his side. Cut back beautifully towards Fairclough. And almost a second for Chris Fairclough. Arsenal living very dangerously. To beat Lukic. Wright and Rocastle have virtually grown up together, but that was a bit too friendly. Good goalkeeping. Rocastle. Arsenal know all about that kind of ability. Wallace, great cross towards Chapman, terrific goal. That was Leeds United Championship vintage. Searing cross from Rod Wallace, and a meaty header from Lee Chapman against one of his old clubs. Terrific delivery from Wallace, and Chapman, who just scored so many goals at Ellen Road. That's his 12th of the season, and 10 of them have been at home. 2 goals in the space of 6 minutes for Leeds. Could have finished Arsenal off there. His only league goal this season was back in August. He has had his injury problem since then. Steve Bolt seemed to handle the ball actually, but Wallace had the advantage of going on to take a chance, which he couldn't take, if you understand me. McAllister, oh, that's a great way to finish a great afternoon for Leeds United. They needed to win this game so much, and they've done it with a flourish, with a third goal from their skipper, Gary McAllister. Gordon Strachan won it, and Gary McAllister went on to win the game. Lifted it beautifully over Miller. Leeds United season, their first win for a month, their first clean sheet for 2 months. Smiles are worn by their bench. 3 goals to 0 the final score. 2 goals in the space of 6 minutes early in the second half by